everyone. Welcome to the FM Training TV live stream, where we talk about the awesome and fantastic FileMaker platform, and we seek to educate you guys on all the amazing things that you can do with it, of which there are many, pretty much infinite as far as I'm concerned. We're here today with Nick Hunter to talk about his fantastic FM Gallery application, all the really cool tips and tricks that he puts into making it work. And all the amazing stuff that he does with it. So it's going to be a fantastic stream. A reminder that we stream on 3 different platforms. We stream here on Discord, we stream on YouTube, and we stream on Twitch. My name is Margaret Carlton. I'll be your broadcast engineer. Again, the wonderful man in the video here is Nick Hunter. And so, real quick, let's cover the rest of the week before we get into our awesome subject today. So today is another... Obviously, it's another awesome solution about discussion about Nick's awesome solution. Tomorrow is going to be 360 Works plugin updates, so feel free to stop by for that. It's about the 19.3 update to FileMaker. Friday, we have Kyle Williams, and he discusses how to hack objects in FileMaker with JSON. That'll be a fairly intermediate to advanced conversation, just warning you now. On Monday and Tuesday, Nick is back. 2 final days to discuss the rest of his awesome tricks that he uses to make the solution work. And you can tell it's a lot because he had 6 days to do it, and there's still more to talk about. On Wednesday, we have archiving records in FileMaker with Calvin. Calvin is going to talk to us about what happens when you don't want to delete your FileMaker records, which should be, most of the time. But if you have a thing where you need to get rid of some, it's a discussion about that, how to archive those records and help out your database. If you have a question about something but it's not on today's topic, or you realize that you need more training than our free, 5 days a week live streams can provide, we have an awesome FileMaker bundle. One comes with FileMaker like Pro, the actual application, one doesn't. Both have 90 hours of video content that cover pretty much every subject that we can possibly think of. From FileMaker Server, Pro, WebDirect, Go, we talk about all of it, and it's in very nice 15 to 20 minute snippets, which you are highly animated. Richard Carlton goes through it, and if you've ever watched him speak, he's very animated and very entertaining. So please feel free to buy that to support us. We greatly appreciate it, and you get a crap ton of amazing training out of the box. Okay, so now that I'm done with our spiel, you ready, Nick?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mark, for this presentation. Very nice. So, yes, today is their 4th day of the presentation. So why we have so many days? Because I'm far of being done with what I'm using in FileMaker, so with FM Gallery. So we saw so far 3 days how the gallery works. We learn how it works. We learn the technique I'm using, to calculate, I'm not moving anything, just I'm moving numbers, IDs, photo IDs, and just what I'm doing. And I have a list, and then I'm getting the value I need to put there, and then I have a magic calculation that put that in place, and then I'm using all the tricks, not the tricks, but all the technique possible with FileMaker to, when you enlarge the window to reflow the gallery, blah, blah, blah. I'm using FileMaker records as a foundation for my own record management, so you can you can learn how to do that and use this on your own purpose. And yesterday we discovered that I'm generating the gallery with PSOs, right? So because it's faster when the file is hosted in the cloud. So I'm going to we learn how to generate a virtual list, because actually FM Gallery is a virtual list. So how to generate a virtual list on the server. So we learned that yesterday, and we discover, and I discover, like an Egyptian tomb. I rediscover something that I forgot completely that I was using, the technique of using a table in order to transfer things from the client to the server. That gives you the possibility to get an history of what you're doing, and also to see with your eyes when you have a problem, and you can debug more easily because you have a trace of what happened. It's not something that disappears. So and we are going to talk about that in another webinar one day. So today I want to demonstrate how the difference between the pisos and no pisos. Okay, so we are going to demonstrate that. So I have 272 photos here. Nothing crazy, but I have some photos. 272 photos to display. And I want to demonstrate the speed with pisos. So let me share my screen right quick. So here, what I was saying, okay, I have 272 photos. So you can see that I have 272 photos here. So I want to demonstrate the power of pisos. So here I'm using pisos. I'm using the server is 19.2.1, that the server we have in California. So I am in the worst case scenario possible. I am in Colombia, in the South Hemisphere. So you know that there's no connection between internet connection between the South and the North Hemisphere is very difficult. It's not. So I'm in the worst case scenario possible. I'm in the South Hemisphere, and the server is in the North Hemisphere. So and I'm very far, right? But I don't care. I want to show the difference. So let's do this. Let's generate a gallery on the server. Okay. So now I'm generating the gallery on the server. So I have this splash screen, and boom. So now let's go back like it was. I have this splash screen for a couple of seconds, bam, and gone. So I'm going to do it again, and so here, as I want to mention, the cache is not involved. Why? It's because I'm omitting records and I'm creating a new one. So cache is not involved. Okay, so I'm not getting the help of the cache, unfortunately. But it won't the help I'm not getting from the cache. I'm getting much more by omitting the records, not deleting them. Okay, so it's a trade-off. Yes, I don't have 100% of benefits, but I have 92% of benefits. Let's say. Okay, so now let's do the same thing without using Perform Script on server. Okay, fair enough. Same thing, same file, same solution, same everything. So I uncheck the box. Let's do. Okay, so so we don't have the Jeopardy music. Here, it's not done. So you can see the difference. I'm doing exactly the same thing, same computer, same connection, same internet, same localization, same everything, and it's not done. So it's not done. It's not okay. Now it's done. So let's do the same thing here. Okay, I'm doing the same thing. So here, okay, we have this. Okay, pam 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 pam. So it's the same thing, So it's very slow. Obviously, it is not usable. Okay. Each time you do something, each time you move something, each time you move a finger, bam, you have this time to wait. And we have only 272 photos. So imagine when you have 2,000 or 3,000 photos. Right? So this gives you a kind of a sense of the difference between pisos and not pisos, right? So do we have any questions so far?
Nope, I don't see anything. Again, remind everyone, we do love to answer questions. Please feel free to ask.
Okay. So I think that this was a dramatic explanation of what pisos can do for you. Okay, so this is dramatic because as Richard mentioned yesterday, I'm using the file to the limits of the capabilities of FileMaker. So I'm using FileMaker, at the limit. So that's why it's dramatic, because you can really feel different here. Okay, doing the same thing. So one thing is usable, the other one is not. Okay, so let me bring that back. Okay, so I want to show you something with FM Gallery. Okay, so because I'm far of being done. Okay, so the gallery is something. displaying photos as a gallery view like this, it's something. But what I wanted to add to the FileMaker platform, it's a comfort of use. Okay, let me explain. All the software or photo software in the industry, you have a comfort of use. You can select, you can delete, you can create, you can import, you can export, you can do a lot of things, right? And I wanted to bring that to the FileMaker platform. And the first thing that I want to bring to the FileMaker platform on top of the gallery view is this, the possibility to select a photo and the possibility to double click on the photo and open it. Okay, so double click on the photo and open it. Oh, it's opening on the back. See, so you can open, so you can select, we can double click on the photo here and open the photo, right? So the same here, you double click on the photo and you open it. Oh, this is why is not opening? I'm in 19. Why? I don't know. So anyway, so see, you can open the photo. Okay, so just by double click, you can select, and you can double click on the photo, or you can double click right away. When you go there, you double click, bam, it's opening the photo. Okay. So now it's something. So now that I'm selecting the photo, I want to be able to do something. I want to save the photo, for example, or I want to delete the photo. So how you delete the photo? In your photo app? You select the photo, and then on the keyboard you click you tap on the delete button, right? So you go to the keyboard here. I have so many keyboards. So a keyboard view. Okay, so you go to the keyboard and you click on that button on the keyboard, right? On this key, right? So you click on this key. You tap on this key to delete the photo. So you select the photo, you tap on the key, and you delete the photo. Oh, do you want to permanently delete one photo? This cannot be undone. You want to delete? Yes or no? Okay, delete, cancel. Okay, I don't want to delete. So, but you see the point here. You select, you delete, boom. Or you select and you can say, oh yeah, I want to save as. Okay. So what do you want to save as to? Oh, I want to save as in PNG. Okay, or you want to save the name and stuff. You want another name, right? Your original name, or you want the title. So you can put whatever title you want to put there, right? So the title of you can select whatever you want, right? Custom name with counter, custom name with index. So all of those are refinement that are created inside Gallery to add more functionality. Okay. But you can see it's missing something here. So this is great that you select a photo and you can delete the photo or you can save the photo. That's great. But something was missing. I want to be able to say, okay, I click here, I click this photo, I press Shift key. Okay, so press Shift key, this key here, this key, Shift key. Okay, so I press Shift key, right? And I click this photo here. So I click this one first, Shift, I maintain Shift key, click, and up, bam. So what happened here? I'm creating a selection of photos. Okay, from this one to this one, bam, it selects. Right? So I do it again. I click on this one, this cat here, and I click on this cat here with the Shift. Bam, it's selected. So now I want to say, okay, that's great. We have multiple selections. So what we can do here? Oh, you can just strike delete, and you delete not one photo, but you delete 11 photos. So it's great because now you can make a selection and say, okay, I want to delete, I want to delete this photo and this photo. Okay, now it's good. We say, okay, that's great, but I don't want to delete that one, and I don't want to delete that one on the photo here. So that's why we have the Alt key, the Alt or the Command key on Mac. So you strike the key. So you have this selection done here. You strike the Command key or the Alt key on the PC, and you unselect the picture you want. Or what you can do is say, okay, I unselect those two pictures, but I want to add these guys, and I want to add these guys to my selection. So you keep maintaining the Alt key. Okay, so pretty much here we have a multi-selection possibility that normally with FileMaker you cannot do that. You cannot select visually something and have action on top of this. So demonstration of what you can do. So let me close this file here that is on the server, and let me open it the same version but locally, okay? Because it's too slow, because I'm very far, so it's not good. Okay, so let me open the file locally here. Do I have a copy here? Yes. Okay, this is local. No, because I don't want, delete and stuff like that. This will take very long. Okay, so I have a picture here. So what I want to do, I want to select this one. So I want to select this one and select this one, this one, this one, and select this one, this one, this one. And what I want to do, so I have 18 selected. So now you can see you have 18 selected. So, and I want to save those photos. I want to extract those photos. So no problem. I save those photos. So I strike Command S to save the photo. I have this dialog here. And I say, okay, I want PNGs out of this, same format and same name as the original. So you go there, you create a new folder, test, and you select the folder and you save in the folder. So FileMaker is exporting that's why I want to do that locally. So now FileMaker, what is doing is exporting the thing, is exporting the what's the name? Don't know why it's not doing it, but it's there. Okay, so it's exporting everything. So here what it's doing, right? So I'm saving this. Okay, I'm going to explain how I'm doing the translation between JPEGs and PNG. Okay, but this is what FileMaker is doing. Okay, so I am exporting the photos just by selecting them on the grid, striking Command S to save them, save selection as 18, okay? And then I have my PNGs, okay? They're here. Oop. I have PNGs. Okay, they are real PNGs. They are not fake PNGs. PNGs, they are PNG image. They're not fake. So that means they are translated. They are exported as PNG. They are not just saved as and renamed, like I'm seeing most of the time with FileMaker. I have the capabilities to get a JPEG, because this is a JPEG. Okay, this is a JPEG. It's a JPEG photo. Okay, but I exported them as a PNG. I can do another format if I want. I can even have I can do tiff if I want. Okay, I can do tiff. So I can save tiff. So I'm doing here tiffs, and I export tiffs. So I don't know why I don't have the progression here. I mean, I think that's another bug of FileMaker 19. And so now if I'm going there, I'm going desktop, and I have tiffs. So now I have tiffs, and they are tiffs. They are not fake tiffs, They are real tiffs. So this is another thing we are going to explore. But this is not the point of today. The point of today, it's the selection here, okay? How the selection works, how this type of selection possible. Because you can use that technique to make a multiple selection in a poll, for example, or list view, okay? You can use that, because I create that technique to be used on the list view, and I enhanced it to be used in FileMaker in the grid. Why? Okay, first of all, it's fast as hell, as you can mention it, because you can see, if I want to select the 272 photo, Command A, all selected, okay? Why it is fast is because, again, I'm not modifying anything. I'm not replacing anything. I'm not I'm not opening a record and closing a record. I'm not replacing. I'm not doing all this. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. But I want to show also all the refinement that you can find in this file, in this FM Gallery file. Let's say I'm selecting this, okay? So I have 10 selected from this to this. And I want to double click on this guy here, on this cat here. I double click on this. I have 10 selected and I'm double click on this one. So I want to land in this one, right? So as you can see here, I'm landing on the fourth of my selection, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of the 10 selected. So that means I am on the fourth of the 10 selected, right? Out of the 272. So if I continue next, you will see that all the prediction, the progression. So this one, yes, it is this. This one, yes, it is this. This one, it is this. This one, it is the cat. This one, it is those two. And this one, it is those two with a different view. So you can see that I am selecting when I double click on one photo, if I double click on this one, I'm going to land on this one, on the 9th position. If I double click on the first one, I'm going to land on the first one, okay? So, and the next and previous is exactly matching this. So how I'm doing this is just because it's super easy. It's because the gallery is nothing else but the representation of the table photo. It's whatever the order on this table that will drive the view on the gallery, not the other way around. I'm going to the photos, I'm sorting the photo how I want to sort them. And then I'm using, remember, again, the gallery is nothing. The gallery is a virtual list where I am displaying those IDs in an order. Okay. So another time I'm going to do the demonstration here. I have the record list ID. It starts with 550 and 559, right? But if I change the order of this, the gap is 764, 773. Okay, it changed the order of this list. That's why the order of this change is because the order of the list changed. But to get the list, my sort script goes to the table. Okay, it goes to the photo table. Okay, it sort them. I'm doing the sort. And then I'm going back and I generate the gallery. So that's why the gallery is always in sync with the photos, because it's the photo table that drive the order of the gallery and not the other way around. So this is why I want to explain how this works. Okay, how this multi-selection works. So it's a little bit complicated. So I apologize, but unfortunately, this is it. So to get the thing working, it won't work if you try to replace data. If you script here is when you click here, you have the shift key, and you go there and you click. When you click here, you say, okay, go to the table photo and replace with an ID or a number or whatever. It won't work. Okay. It will be slow to death, and you don't want that. You want something like this. You want to select, unselect, or you want to be able to select everything needs to be fast. Okay. So how the script works? When I click here with shift key, so I maintain shift key. Okay. So you have many things going on because you have the double click. So this is the script. Okay. But don't worry, nothing happened. Because actually I'm setting a variable. That's all what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything. I'm setting variables. Okay. So first of all, I defined the column and stuff like that. But this is for the naming. So I don't have a double click. So if not modifier, I have a modifier. The click is 0. So now I click here. if I get the modifier equal 1, which is the one I get here, okay, and I have a selection, so now this is where I do the thing. If the current ID start is greater, I have a typo here, is greater than the selected photo, then you do this, okay? So pretty much, if I have an ID start and an ID end, okay, of my selection, okay? So when I click here, try to understand. I try to explain the thing. So because I have so many things going on. So I have an ID end and an ID start, an ID end. When I click on one photo, I get one ID. Okay. When I strike Shift key, I get an ID end of my list. Remember, I have a list here. This is what. Let me open the script right quick, because I think that will be smarter to do that way. Okay. Remember, I have this ID list. You know, so I use this one. I create an ID list, a UUID based on my selection. So I have a variable here, UUID. Where it is? UUID set. Okay, here. This is the UUID I'm using. So I'm getting the list. I'm getting the list of my current gallery. Okay, this is what this is doing. Okay, so I'm getting the list of all the IDs, the UUIDs of my photos. That's why. Okay, I'm using UUID. You will see why. It's because it will work better with UUIDs than regular ID. That's why I'm using UUIDs. So I'm getting the list of all UUID of my gallery. Okay, this is what I'm doing first. Then I click the first selection. So the first selection is the ID. I'm getting the ID of the first one I click, right? So I click on this one. When I click on the first one, see, when I click on the first one, current selection. So when I click on one, the current selection is 1. Where's the current selection? Current selection is 1. Okay. When I click, I shift click, and I have this. Now I have 10. So my current selection is 10 IDs. 10. Okay. So what I'm doing here is simple. I am telling the system on my UUID list, okay, on this big list here, get whatever this is the first one. Let's say this is the first one, and this is the last one. Okay, tell me, get me all those IDs. Get me all those IDs in one list. So in one list on the current selection. Okay. So again, if I'm doing free selection here, my current selection is free. If I have all of them, my current selection will be all of them. So it's just a get value. It's very simple. It's a get value stuff. It's very simple. Get the values from the ID start and the ID end. Get me the value on between this. So I'm trying to set substitute blah blah blah. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So it's list of values. See, it's a middle value. So whatever the list of value, okay. So this is the list of all the IDs of the photo I'm showing in the gallery. This is the ID I'm starting. This is the ID I'm ending. So starting value, ending value, okay, and a number of values. And then I'm using a mere middle values. I say, okay, in the middle values of this list of values, you need to start from here, and I need how many value I need, you know, from the middle value. That's it. Okay. So we have a question here. I was thinking the same thing. How are the UUIDs and the photos sorted? We don't care about that, because when I sort, I resort the. I'm going to explain that. So now This is why I have to use UUIDs, okay? And with IDs doesn't work. With ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, doesn't work. It doesn't work because I have to use a substitute. Okay. How this works? Because so you understand now how when I click the first, I say my ID start is this. ID start. Where is the ID start is 2. Okay, that's the ID start. And then I go there and I have the ID end now. ID end is 10. Okay, so this is the numbers. I have the second picture and the 10 pieces selected. So this is the numbers, the position of the pictures, right? So if I click here and here, I am from the 30th to the 32. So now I know with the middle value it's easy. I'm saying, okay, I have selected the 30th pictures of my gallery and the 33rd and the 32nd, because you count the one you in 30, 31, 32. So this is 3 actually, not 2. That's why I think you saw it. You saw it in my script that I said in my script here. I'm saying here, not here, +1, okay? Because I need to include the one I am in, okay? FileMaker will say 30 to 32 is 2. No, it's 3. For me, it's 3. It's not 2 because I need to include the one I'm in, okay? So this is when you select with the Shift key. So now, what happens when you select with the Command key and you want to remove something or you want to add something, okay? Remove, add, remove, add, remove, add. How you do that? So this is where this side of the script is involved. This side, okay, is when you select, you want to add, remove. You know, add is easy. This is where you add. Add is easy. Okay, so let's see what add is. You have a variable that, you know, the variable that this guy gave you a variable. This guy here gave you the variable current selection. Okay, this is what the current selection gave you. Now you have the current selection, and what you say, you want to set a new version of the current selection. Okay, and what it is, it's whatever already in the current selection, and you add the one that you are clicking in. Okay, you add the one you click on. Okay, so whatever you create a new list, it's whatever in the list of this, and you add a new value, this one. This is how you do that. When you get a value that already exists and you want to add a new value on this, okay, you do this. Okay, so now this is very easy. The removal is kind of a little bit tricky. Okay, so and that's why I invented this. I came out with this technique here, which is great. When you have a list of value, okay, let's take a list of value. Let's take this one, okay. Let's say you have this one, okay, right? So you have whatever the blank it doesn't matter, okay. The blank doesn't matter, okay. Yeah, it's okay. We have, but you know, I like to learn. I like to learn because the custom function is this function here is the way it is handled here is very simple, and then you need to learn how this works. You know, first of all, you need to learn that you can have multiple substitute blocks inside one substitute statement. Okay. And I want to explain that how this works because it's very important. It's very important. Okay. So let's say you have a list here. Let's take this list. This list. You have a list, okay, right? And you want to remove. So in the list you have a first value. You have a value in the middle of other values, and you have a last value. Okay, the first value, all the value in between the first and the last, okay? And the last one doesn't have the same treatment. They have three different type of values. The first, the one in between the first and the second, and the last, okay? So you need to take that in account, okay? The calculation here need to take that in account. You have first, you need to take in account the last one. The last value is here. This is the last value. The last value is carriage return and the value, and then nothing else at the end. But that's the last value. It cannot be the first value, because the first value cannot start with a carriage return. Okay, this is the last value. Yeah, this is the last value. Okay, no, sorry. Up. No. This is a value in between. Sorry. This is a value in between. Okay, the value in between has carriage return and the value. Okay, always. The first value is always this one, value and carriage return. This is the first one because it cannot start with a carriage return before. This is the value in between. This is the first value, and this is the last value. The last value is like one value. That means doesn't have a carriage return before and doesn't have a carriage return after. The last value is like one value. Okay, so if you have one value in your list, you don't have a carriage return at the end, and you don't have a carriage return before. A value in between, you always have a carriage return before. Always. Let me demonstrate this. I really need you to understand that. Okay. Carriage return value, 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 always, carriage return value, always. The values in the middle always have carriage return value, carriage return value. You can see it. Visually, you can see it. Carriage return value, carriage return value. See, you can see it. The first one has always, it's like this. It's a first carriage return. Okay? First carriage return. But the last one doesn't have a carriage return before, neither have a carriage return at the end. See? That's why in the calculation you have one block. So how FileMaker will use this? When you use a substitute like this, how you do this? You say, okay, FileMaker, you're smart, okay? Help me here. I need your help. If you find, okay, this possible, if you find this, if that's something you find, you substitute it. That means if that you find this, substitute this with nothing. That means remove this. If you find, remove this with nothing. If you don't find it, okay, go to the next one. Automatic. It's like a case. Okay, if this one fails, do this one. Okay, find for UUID and carriage return. Can you find it? Yes, I can. Or no, I cannot. Okay, if you cannot find it, go to the next one. Take only the UUID. Don't try to find one with a carriage return. So that means if we found this, that means the value you try to remove is in the middle. If we find this, the value you try to remove is the first one, and if you find this, the value you try to remove is the last one. This is to prevent in your section. So demonstration. So I have here.
Real quick, we do have an extra question about that specifically. Stu asked, won't the last value also have a CR plus UUID? What am I missing?
No, the last one never. The last one doesn't have a carriage return at the end. The last one has no carriage return at the end. You can, here you can see the first one is the first value plus the carriage return. See, this up is the carriage return. This is the value, carriage return, value, carriage return, value, carriage return, value, carriage return. Okay. So, so the last one you can say value, no carriage return. I don't have it. So it's just the value. The last one is just the value. Okay. So why to do this? Why to do this? There's a reason why. Okay. So let me show this current ID list here. Okay. So let's say I have from the first to this one, I have 11 selected. Okay. So if I open this, you see this is 11. And I have here one with 3A and one with 3.9. Okay. The second and the third. I want to remove them from my list. I remove this one and I remove this one. So now you can see the 3A and 3.9 is removed, but I don't have a blank gap. I don't have a blank in the middle. It's not blank. The list is clean. I removed. Let's add something. Add this one and add this one. So you can see here. Now they're here. But I don't care if I have the blank here. It doesn't make difference. What is make difference is when I remove something. I want to make sure that I remove everything. Okay. So again, I remove this one. I remove this one. I remove this one. Doesn't matter really. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is that you remove the first and you remove the last. Is very important that the first, the last is being removed. Otherwise, without this calculation here, you're going to miss it. Okay. So this is why it's very simple. You don't need to go far, and it's great to learn the substitute like this, that you can have multiple choices like this. Yeah, to have a trailing record, in the middle I don't care, but in the trailing it makes the problem. So they won't be okay. So they won't the first one in the middle have a UUID plus current? Yes, but okay. The no, because otherwise this one here is always the first. Cannot be the last. It cannot be the one in between. This one here, okay. To make the thing working, okay. So to make the thing working, you need to remove the one that is in between. You need to try to remove the one in the between. You understood that this, okay. I need to explain that again. You understand that this works the first found, the first served. Okay. You need to try this first in order to make the thing working. Okay. I don't want to spend too long here, but you need to try this first. Then you try this one, and then at the last result you try this one. Because if you put this one always in the middle, let's do a test. Okay. Let's do a test. I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. So, because this one will always work, always. So this is the same as removing everything, because never does work, because he will try this, he will find this for all the time. So, okay, let's try it. Let's try it. So I have my list. I have my list very clean here. So current selection, very clean. And I'll try to remove things. See? blank, 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 blank. It will always do that. Okay. And then here you have a problem. You have a big problem because I have a at the end. Okay, and sometimes, and if I remove the first, I have a blank, blank, blank. I start with blank and I end with blank. This will screw up everything I'm doing. So so we need to avoid that. Okay, so to avoid that, that's why we have an order here. Okay, we have an order. The order is this: the one in between first, the first record in the second, and the last one at the end. The one in betweens, the ones in between, the first and the last. That's the order of trying to remove things. Okay. So do we have any question here, Marge, on the?
We do have kind of one from way earlier, I think, that I thought was kind of general. From David Angel. Give me a second. He wanted to ask, what script trigger executes the change of the photo lines displayed?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, what script trigger executes the change of photo lines displayed?
Oh, it's the on layout change. On layout size change is this one. Is this one here? When you go there and you say on layout size change, this one. So when you change the size of the window, bam, it triggers. And then I have a calculation. I'm calculating the size of the window divided by the size of my thumbnails, which is 100. Okay, they are the in between here. You know, between two. This is 200, right? So I because I have to count the half of here and the half of here because the other half is there. So one half. So you have one half the thumbnail half, one half the thumbnail half, one half thumbnail half. So I'm counting the size of the window divided by 200, and then I'm getting the numbers, the integer of this, and the integer of this will give me, okay, you need 6 com to display the photo, or 7 or 8 depending on the size, right? But I want to continue this because so the multi-selection. So now how it works. So now you get it. You get it how it works. To make sure that the thing is fast. Okay, I'm hiding things. Okay, so I have a border here. You know, I have a border. So I don't remember where it is. Panel. I have a border here. I think it's a button. No. So I have a button here. It's there. Yeah, it's there. So it's a text here. Okay. It's a text block that I have here. And I have a solid border with so I can copy this and then I can show you. I have this object here that I'm showing and hiding. See? So this object has a FileMaker object. It's a text. And okay, you can use a shape if you want. And okay, for why I'm using a text is because before the early version of this, I was using conditional formatting. And conditional formatting works only on text. But I step away from this, but I kept the object text. Okay. But anyway, you can do whatever you want. But here you have a very simple kind of a height statement here, you know, and it's the pattern count. I'm using pattern count, but pattern count is fast when you use this always on a variable, because I'm using this on a variable, so it's super fast. I'm getting this variable and I'm saying, okay, is the ID of this guy in the variable? If it is, don't hide it. If it's not, hide it, because it's not cannot be selected because it's not in the list. So once again, I'm not trying to replace the record. I'm not trying to say, okay, replace everything, right? Replace with the tag, you know, like I'm saying sometimes. No. Don't try this. It's just a a list, a representation in the list, and then the list will tell the layout show and hide. Okay. So, and it's very cool because I'm using relationship. So the relationship will give me the ID of this particular object here. This object is the third in the line, 1, 2, 3 is the first column. So whatever the relationship here, the column 3, because column 3, column 3, for example, column 3, I can get all those information, okay? All those information. So I have access to this because each column is a relationship. So I know if the ID of this particular column is in the list, I'm hiding and showing this block, this orange block like this, right? So this is why it's fast, is because I'm showing hiding. I'm not replacing anything. I'm just playing with a list in the air, right? And the hiding state is based on this list. Okay. There may only be one item in the list. In this case, there are no carriage. Yes, if there's one item in the list, there's no carriage return. So again, one item, there's no carriage return. It's and you can do it. You can current selection. So you see, you can do this pattern count, current selection. Okay, how many times you have this? 0. 0 carriage return. Now, when you do this, and you have so when you do this, now I have 1 carriage return. I have 2. Sorry, 2. Yeah, it's crazy, but you have 2. It's like this. But if you have no, it's 1. If you have nothing selected, if you have 1 selected, is 0. If you have 2, it's 2. If you have 3, it's 3. 4 is 4. See, it's but 1 is 0. So you never have 1. Never.
Real quick.
You never have 1. It cannot be. See, 1, 0. It says 0. If you select 2, you have 2. But you will never have you will never have 1. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go.
David wanted to know what happens if you select photo 4 and then photo 2. What will be selected?
Photo 2 and photo 4. There are 2 photos. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have 2. I will have 2. My current here said 2. Okay. Because the script that I'm using here, I have 2 keys. So the script here, let's explore a little bit more the script here. Okay. This script, I encourage you to explore it. Okay. So you have many things going on here. So I put all the comments I can put there to make the thing understandable. But you can see it's not doing much things. It's testing all the time what it needs to do. Okay. First of all, you need to have, that's a double click, so you need to learn how I'm doing the double click. This happened only on the double click, so we can just ignore that. Okay. This is to select, this is to action the first click and the second click. So this is just, when I click, when I start the script, I need this stuff to be to happen. Okay. I need the UUID of the current selected. I need when I click, I need the ID of the record I'm clicking on. Okay? But this is when the double click happened, so we don't have to explore that. Then if I have no modifier keys, okay, no modifier key, not get, okay. I have a pause script. I have a pause because it's for my double click. Okay, so it's something else. Now, if Shift is pressed and the clicked photo is already selected, that means if I click on the same one, okay, So it's full. So if I click on the same one with shift unselected, because otherwise you have no way to unselect the photo. So I want select, unselect, select, unselect. I want to be able to do that. So to do this, I needed to tell the thing, FileMaker, to do something, right? So this is what it's doing: is cleaning up things. If the current ID start is greater, so let's is greater than the selected photo. So that means if the ID start is greater than the record, so in that case, I change. For example, when I do this, okay, and I do this, so this is where I'm doing this, the multiple selection. Okay, this is where I'm doing this. Okay, so the script here is just a manipulation of IDs. Just when I'm setting this and when I'm setting this. If the selected ID is greater than, if the selected photo ID is less than the current photo start. So I'm changing, I'm interchanging the thing. So maybe I can come back again next week on this script here. But I explained pretty much what I'm doing here. It's just a matter of doing this. When I'm here, I am in a position. And when I want to shift, I want to be able to do this because I want to be able to do the shift on both direction. Demonstration. I click here, I shift, and I go there. I select. Now, I go there. Oops, sorry. It went there. I click on this, and then shift, I click on one before. So I click there. So, and the selection works. So the selection is bi-directional. I click here, and I select the one after it selects. I click here, I select the one before it selects. So I needed to do that, and in order to do this is this, and this. When you click, so you reverse. What you do, you reverse the ID start becomes the ID end, and the ID end becomes the ID starts. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. I'm changing because it's on both ways. Okay, so it's on both direction. But at the end, I'm doing this. At the end, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the current selection. But see, the ID starts, the ID end, and the ID start again. So it's a bit, like here I'm changing. I'm defining, in this case scenario here, I'm defining that the ID end becomes whatever in the ID start. This is when when it's greater than. Okay, so you need to analyze this and read what I'm doing here. But you need to see, and you need to click, and you need to play with this. But at the end, what I wanted to explore is this, right? I want to explore this guy here, how I'm doing it, it's fast because I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just a middle value selection. The same here. I'm not doing anything crazy. There's no tail recursive function or whatever. And the thing here, so you see, it's very, very simple. Nothing crazy. I don't see anything crazy, that nobody can understand what's going on. It's just the mixture of this, it's the recipe of this, is when the thing happened, okay? And the concept was to play with the list of always, when you want to do something like this, don't play with records. Bring the records in the memory, bring the records in the memory like I do here, bring everything in memory and you play with this. Never play with records. Never. You play with a list. What happens if you select photo 2 will be selected? And yeah, so that's what you want me to do, and I think I answer.
Yeah, I thought you answered.
Yeah, if you select the photo 4 and the photo 2, is do this. Yeah, and this is how I'm playing with this, because it's, for example, now that I have my selection of this, My selection here is just a list of IDs, okay, right? So let's say I want to save those. So how I'm doing this, the same thing, you know, the same thing. I'm telling every day the same thing. I'm setting a field with the current selection ID, and then I'm going to go to read records. That's it. That's all what I'm doing here. I have a list of ID. Okay, go. Tell me. Okay, so so I have this script here, right? So I have this stuff here coming. Okay, and that's it, right? So so and I have nine selected. See this here, this dialog here. That's why I have a dialog. I have a dialog because each time I am in the photo table here. This here is the photo table. Okay, so get table name. It's the photo. I'm no longer in the gallery. So my script here is very simple script. Again, it's a very simple script. What I'm doing here, let me close this. Okay, what I'm doing here, save as. I am in the gallery, and I have a list of IDs. My selection, you know, they are here. You know, my list of IDs are here. Current selection, those 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I have my list. My script does whatever, you know, set the field current selection. So I have a kind of a global field, and then I go to read record in the new window. Okay, which is where is the window? I don't see it. Okay. Oh yes, because to position the window. So when I have the new window, I have my selection done. So, but this window is on the photo. So now when I say continue, my script here, you know, asks me which folder I want. And if I cancel, see, use the cancel, that means close the window. That means stop everything, right? So, but next week I want to give a kind of a sneak peek of what we are going to see next week. We are going to see this. I have a cat here, and I want to rotate, right? And I want to save as, but I want to save as tiff, very small. Okay, this is what I want. So tiff small. Okay, like. So if I go there, tiff small, very small. Okay, compared to what it was. So how I'm doing this. Okay, so next week we are going to learn this, how to do this. So it's Mac only because I don't know Windows. Okay, but you can, if you know Windows, you can replicate that very easily. Because I'm not using FileMaker, I'm not using a plugin, I'm using the system. Okay, so we are going to learn how to use the system in our advantage. Okay, so here, where it is outputs. So I'm making a directory, so I'm creating a folder using the shell commands. Okay, so using the shell command mkdir. Okay, same for here. Shell commands change the file size, the file compression. Shell command to rotate the rotation factors, etc. Convert the file, how you convert the file format, the directory, etc. And how to copy a file into a destination. Copy a file, because I'm doing everything in a temporary folder. So what my system does is I'm saving everything in the temporary folder. the shell command, the Unix side of macOS is doing things on the photos, and then when the thing's done, move everything in the directory that I decided where to go. Okay, so incorporate that Japanese or some other method to crop the. Okay. So the selection order doesn't really matter. The selection order doesn't really matter. No, the selection. Q does occasion. Does FM Gallery incorporate that Japanese or some other method to crop the window? What the Japanese?
I think there's a Japanese file that does something similar, but I don't remember what it is or what that method specifically is. I just know that it exists.
Yes, I mean the cropping. I can crop. The problem is I don't have a UI to give you the coordinate. Let me explain. I love to replicate things when they look native, when they look possible. So I love to do that. Like for example, click on save here. Hold on. When you click on save and you have the save dialog, okay, that looks original. And this here, for who was using Aperture from Apple, I copied exactly the same behavior of Aperture here. Okay, so I replicate the same Aperture save as presets kind of a naming convention here. Okay, so I like to replicate something that looks native. The problem of cropping is that you don't have a UI where you can see the picture. I love to have the possibility to say, okay, you select, you say, and you select the marquee and you say crop. Okay. Unfortunately, with FileMaker, I cannot do that. So I know there's a Java stuff now they're doing this. I think Christian, or I don't remember who has a Java stuff that doing this. But with FileMaker, so I'm using crop, for example, to resize a photo. For example, I implemented the crop function of SIPs, because I'm using SIPs. This is what I'm using in Unix. I'm based on SIPs. I don't know if you know the SIPs. SIPs. So SIPs. Unix. Okay, macOS SIPs. 6. Okay. I'm using this. Okay. So it's SIPs. So this is all what you can do with SIPs. You can crop, you can change, you can do a lot of things, okay, with SIPs. So here, this is the syntax, okay, function. You can imagine the function extracts. It's the Unix side of preview, okay, pretty much. So what you can do in preview, you can do that here, right? So you can change, you can rotate, rotate. You can resample, you can add an icon. You can get a lot of, what's the name? Metadata. You can crop. So there, you can flip. That also a good, flip horizontally, flip vertically. So you can crop. So the advantage of this, I implement that to a customer that want to crop at the side. You want like a passport photo. You know what I mean? Passport photos. So you want to make sure that the photo was 3x4 centimeter. Okay. And so he asked me. So that's easy. When you have the coordinate, you can do that. You crop to 8 in width, right? So it's very cool to fit the specified size. So by default, SIPs is taking the center of the photo and crop it, right? Which is great. So you can you have many things here you can do. So you can do lot of things with tiffs. I love tiffs. Simple and straightforward. Question.
I don't think we've got any, so I think that should be heading towards wrapping up.
Yes. Next week, I'm going to explore a little bit more on this. If you want to, I'm going to explore. We are going to explore a little bit more of the selection. The problem of the selection, to explain, it's a pain because it's super complicated, and I will get confused. If I continue like this, I will confuse because there's a lot of decision making at the moment that should be made. So, and I need to do the thing in order to, it's the first served, the first arrived, but you want to make sure it's like the multiple selection, the multiple substitute, right? You want to make sure you select the first one and the second one, and then, so it's very you need to explore. So you have the file for free, so feel free to open it. But I want to show the refinements of the selection because you can apply the same on the portal. Can you imagine on the portal? You have a portal. You click on one record on the other record, and then you say, okay, sort or export or delete or whatever, because you have the list of ID, and then you have a script. You can even have a script on server that say, okay, take this list, go on server, delete those, right? On server, right? Yeah, that's a custom function. Yeah, that's a custom function. There is a custom function for everything. The problem is for the multi-selection, the custom function for the multi-selection, the custom function needs to be used on the script. I like the way I like to learn, So if you learn the multi-selection the way I implemented it, you're going to learn a lot on FileMaker. So it's that the advantage. The custom function is when you don't want to learn.
Basically, there's a lot of unique things you can do inside of FileMaker that Nick can show you without having to add stuff from the outside.
Actually, I don't know the custom function of the multi-selection, but here, I want to have a multi-selection that works. It cannot be a function. It has to be a script because it's attached to an action. It's attached to a click. And you have the double click that, of course, that takes in account, double click here. And when you double click, I'm getting the selection of the photo of the 8 selected, right? So I'm doing much more than just a selection. When I'm going here, I'm landing here, but I have 9 photos selected, the 9 photos that are selected. So it's so that's what I want to achieve. So it cannot be a custom function. Custom function will give me the ID, and even I think I want to explore that one, but I think it needs to be a script. It cannot be a custom function. It needs to be a script.
Yes. So we will be covering that next week, Monday and Tuesday. So feel free to check back in for that. It'll be awesome, no doubt. A reminder again that tomorrow is Thursday 360 Works, and then Friday is with Kyle Williams. Wednesday, again, Monday and Tuesday are Nick covering this how to do this sort. Wednesday is archiving records in FileMaker with Calvin, and then Thursday is beginning of JSON for beginners. So feel free to check in for that.
Yes.
Again, thank you again so much, Nick. It's great seeing your work. It's great hearing you talk about it and learning all the cool FileMaker tricks that you love to show us. We greatly appreciate it. You all have a lovely, lovely day, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, again he makes the grab.